Hi, my name's Simone from Wise Monkey Financial Coaching and co-author of Sheconomics. I wanted to introduce you to a tool that I think is fantastic to help you manage debt. So if you've got a variety of, say, credit cards and store cards, and you're not managing to pay them off, then this is a great tool, a great way of, a great motivating way actually of kind of staying on top of it and really building up a plan and working out when your debt-free day is. So having a date in mind that you know if you continue doing it in the way that you've planned, you will be debt-free by the 14th of October 2014 or whatever the date is, and then having that date as your motivator. So this is the tool, what's the cost calculator, what's-the-cost.com/snowball.aspx. Another way you can get into it is if you go onto my website, financial-coaching.co.uk, click on the links page, scroll down to debt and credit, you can get into it that way. Okay, so let's take an example. So here's one I've prepared of this is a net worth worksheet, which is what I get clients to do, which shows assets on one side, savings, pensions, property, investments, anything else, and then credit cards and store cards on one side, loans, mortgages, everything that you owe, overdrafts, etc. So in this case, what I want to show you is how we would, if we take the credit card debt, which is the main, there is an overdraft as well actually, but let's just look at the credit card debt, which is the main non-mortgage debt. And if we're looking at a way of looking how this person could pay this off in the most effective way and when their debt-free day would be, let's look at how we do this. So first of all, we've got the I've got them to put the name and the amount owed in this worksheet. By the way, this worksheet is also available from the Sheconomics site on the downloads page. If you scroll down, sheconomics.com, free material to download, and it's here. What's your net worth? And then you can download that worksheet. So going back to this, the APR is additional information we need, and we also need minimum payments. Have a look at the statement and you can get this information, and you'll get the percentage minimum payment as well. Now some of them quote an APR in monthly terms. So this one, for instance, is 1.527. This one is 1.798. Before we begin, we kind of need them all to be on an annual basis. So the thing we can do is we can, again going back to the links page of my website, can you see here interest rate converter? This takes you to Martin Lewis's interest rate converter. So if we take that figure of 1.527, I think it was, it's converted it to 19.94. 1.527 we now know is 19.94. So here I've already done this. I've recalculated them all as percentage annual figures. Now we're ready to go on to the what's the cost spreadsheet. So here you can, by the way, you can log in and you can save your details, so every time you get a statement you can update it. But here we would list the number of creditors and the amount that we're paying. So we were paying, according to the spreadsheet, the minimum payment came to 369. Now we then list each of the creditors. So capital 1, and the amount was 3,400, and the APR on that one was 18.12. If there's an introductory bonus rate, like a 0% for 13 months, put that in. Otherwise, just put the standard APR and then the minimum payment. So here, the minimum payment was 3%. Now, notice, by the way, that some of the minimum payments are only 2%, which is only a little bit more than the APR. So you're barely paying very much off. So be aware of that. So we can then complete this with all the details, right? Tesco's, and I won't take the time to do that now, but I've done one already here. So we've got the 4 creditors, £369 minimum payment. We're choosing to pay it off in interest order. In other words, we want to prioritize the highest interest rate first. So here we've got the 4 listed: Capital One, Tesco's, Co-op, City, and I've put in all the details that we had before in the spreadsheet. And then you press calculate. And this reveals the answer, if you like. So it shows you that it will take 73 months. So 73, that's just over 6 years to pay that off. And it will cost you £11,464 in interest. It then shows you below the payment plan, and the blue is the one that it's prioritizing paying off first. So it's basically working out that you would pay minimum payments on each of the 3 that aren't the highest, and then you would pay the rest that you've got affordable into the one that's the highest rate of interest, the 24.94% rate. Once that's paid off by October 2015, you then prioritize the next highest interest until that falls off, then the next one, and onwards. And the debt-free day is May 2018. Now, what we can then do is say, well, what if I could find a way of paying £469, £100 more a month? What difference would that make? So remember, it was 73 months. Recalculate. It's now down to 48 months. So that's over 2 years. It saved you 2 years by paying just £100 a month. And it saved you a massive chunk, like, I can't remember the figure before, but over £5,000 in interest. And again, we've got the payment plan, and now your date is April 2016. You can continue playing with this until you work out. For instance, I'm just going to jump it right up there to 669. And this shows that it now only takes 29 months. So your debt-free day is September 2014. Now that's looking much more motivating. So you can play with this until you work out the right kind of balance. And then you can have a look at your income and spending. So again, there's a spreadsheet you can download from the sheconomics.com website. And this shows an example of income and expenses broken down between everything imaginable. And here we can see that there is affordability for another couple of £100. So if we were then putting £569 instead of £369, in theory, there's affordability for that, or we could look at ways of making affordability for it, and then we can plug that figure into the calculator. So hopefully that's helpful, and it's a really fantastic tool. I use it with a lot of my clients, and they find it very motivating. And what's great is that every time you get a statement, you can update it, and then you can get closer and closer, and you can make a bit of a game of it. How can I get that date from September 2014 to March 2014? What do I need to do? What savings do I make? And there's a very strong motivator. And then, of course, when you're debt-free, there's £569 extra each month to play with, to do all kinds of things. So that's the motivator. A shorter time frame with a strong focus. If I can help any further, here are my contact details. I hope that was useful. Thank you. Thanks for listening.